You're Canadian, you made it here, and you have a sibling who is older than 22. What to do? The question is not that kind of simple question that people try to disregard right away, and many lawyers say, no chance you can not sponsor your sibling. Is that true? Most of the time it is. But is it really ultimate solution or decision, or negative decision rather? Not at all. Let me explore this topic together with you, walking through all the possibilities how your sibling can arrive here if you are Canadian. One of the topics we always discuss with people who are Canadians when they have siblings left outside Canada, and maybe that's the only sibling they have, maybe that's the only relative they have in the world. In that case, opportunity is provided by the government of Canada, because once in your lifetime you can sponsor any other relative other than your child or parent or grandparent. The program of sponsoring relatives exists for years, even decades. Of course, we have ups and downs with sponsorship of parents, grandparents, sponsorship of spouses never went away, sponsorship of children, it's humanitarian and very understandable. Of course, you can sponsor any dependent child who is younger than 22. But what about siblings? We know, and many people confuse about it, that south of the border, you have a special line of sponsorship for your siblings. Doesn't matter what age, you just have to file application, prove your status in the US, and then you can sponsor. Yeah, it takes the longest time, probably 5, 7, 10 years to process your sibling, but at least avenue exists. It's not so easy in Canada. In Canada, we have one in a lifetime opportunity to sponsor other relatives. And usually people talking about other relatives like nephews or siblings. Let's talk about siblings. Let's say you have a brother or sister who is older than 22, and you would like them to join you in Canada after you move here. And it's understandable. Details of sponsorship are always critical. In this case, legislature, the regulations of Canadian immigration system are very clever. You don't have to have any special proof except your birth certificate and birth certificate of your sibling showing your biological parents are the same. You have to have blood relationship and also may have step relationship as well if your parents got married and you have stepbrother or stepsister. But what's important is the limitation on other opportunities for you to sponsor other relatives. For example, if you still have children overseas, if you have parents overseas, you definitely have to decide what to do with that sponsorship before you sponsor your sibling. Technically speaking, you cannot sponsor sibling before you sponsor or exercise the sponsorship rights for other relatives. Also, what is critical, you have to be single. Technically speaking, in a nutshell, in a very simple, plain old English, I can tell you this. If you have no other relatives and you have only one soul in the world that you would like to be with you, and it's your sibling, you can file sponsorship and it should be granted, because that's the way how government of Canada interpret this situation. Well, I don't want to bring black humor here, but I knew one lawyer who was very arrogant in that way and talked straight. And he said once, I observed that conversation with his client who asked, can I sponsor my sibling who is 30? And he said, well, if you have your parents alive, you have to kill them and you have to divorce your wife and your sibling has to be divorced, and that's brutal. But jokes aside, that's pretty much the picture of potential for your sponsorship. So if you have your sibling single and you're not married and you don't have anybody else to sponsor in the world, that person cut the line and you can sponsor. Sometimes people say, well, we have our parents, they too old to move, and I definitely cannot cut the line and go back with my sibling to be sponsored. What can I do? Well, don't forget, other avenues exist as well. For example, if your sibling is fairly young, educated, with experience, you can try express entry. Why? Because for having sibling in Canada, you can, well, not you, but your relative will benefit from 15 additional points, which can be critical in the line of assessment from express entry system. If that's not the case, or your sibling is older than 30 and losing points for age and other points for English or anything else, definitely explore the startup visa program, because if you have money, if you have businesses, if you can finance and support investment, and actually you can be part of this new startup and support your sibling to move and explain very easily why you're moving your sibling here, because you have joint business, for example. Explore this path, because it might be very, very beneficial for you to actually help your brother or sister who is probably experienced entrepreneur by themselves, move to Canada and bring innovation to Canada from wherever they are. So with this, I would like to conclude this video. Never lose hope. Stay safe by staying informed. And definitely, if you like this video, click the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and share, and people around the world will benefit from this message.